All right, so today I want to talk about Claude in Excel. This is absolutely mind-blowing. I love what they're doing with this. And so we're going to go into a little bit of a deeper dive as well as some tips and tricks. So to install Claude in Excel, you should be at the home ribbon. You go to the add-ins. If you type in Claude, you'll see it pop down here. Since I've already installed it, it's already in my add-ins. But once you do it, you can click it. It'll open up. First thing you should do is click on the settings and make sure that you have session logging on. What that means is it'll create a new tab here that is basically a log of all of the changes that it does to all the cells. That's going to be huge from an audit trail perspective. To kind of showcase the power here, what I have is a P&L dump for various expenses. And what I want to do is I want to then go in and do a search for unrecorded liabilities and come up with accrued expense roll forward. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's kind of work through this. Can you look through my P&L data and put together an accrued expense roll forward? I want to make sure that you appropriately flag the expenses in the P&L dump tab using a flag, and then have it dynamically pull into the roll forward on a separate. Anytime you include something, put a small description as to why. All right. So here's where I think the magic really happens. So I've run this a couple times, so I understand kind of what it's doing. So here's the Claude log sheet. It created it. I'm assuming it's going to start to fill it out, and there you go. So we can kind of check on this so you can kind of see what this looks like, but this is just like a normal log sheet. It also started building out the accrued expense roll forward. Awesome. And so now it's analyzing. Now, mind you, I did not tell it, hey, we're in February, go look for things that say January and accrue for them. I kind of just want to see what it does. So it did add 2 new columns, accrual flag and accrual reason. As you can see, it's looking for descriptions mentioning billed later, prior month, prior period, or specific references to like January billed February. And there you go. There's the flags that are coming in. So let's kind of look through some of these. Prior month, January, Q4, January. Yep. And those are the reasons. I mean, I'm not going to read every single one of these, but I think we can look at these later or when you're kind of testing it. But I mean, this is awesome, right? Like this saves you so much time. And now you don't blindly trust it, but at least it gives you a head start, or at least if you go and perform the procedure, then you run this on top of it to have it highlight things that you may have missed. That to me is just absolutely mind-boggling. So I'm going to go straight back up to the top. It hasn't filled out the log yet, which is fine. It is creating this roll forward. So it looks like this is just kind of a summation, by P&L account. So I think what it's going to struggle, because I didn't give it directions, that it isn't going to go to like an accrual account, right? It's just going to give you, it's just going to say, hey, these need to be accrued for. It did provide a listing here. So that's kind of nice that you can, instead of having to go through and like filter here, you can kind of just do it this way. So interesting approach, but I'm not really all that upset about it. It's just giving you more data in kind of the roll forward tab. What I do want to see, and it is kind of nice that it has number of entries here. So that's nice. And then accrual description. So it looks like it has kind of consolidated those descriptions. Once it's done, which it looks like it is, actually, this is a really good teaching point. So sometimes it gets stuck. And so sometimes you have to go back to it and just say continue. So it is now going back to it and trying to finish off its thought, which it's not that bad. It's now adding the Claude log entry, but I don't think it's done with this. So we'll see. All right. Created the log. Cool. And this is not working correctly. To be honest with you, I don't actually care about this. So I will prove that it can go in and fix it, but at the end, I'm actually going to delete it. The detailed accrued expense listing isn't working. That's all I'm going to say. Now, there's a couple really cool things that Claude for Excel does. For example, you see all these blue highlighted cells? If you click it, it takes you to the tab and highlights those cells. That's so cool. Or even this sheet, boom, back to the sheet. Like, I'm sorry, but this is just absolutely phenomenal. Coming back, it looks like it came in and updated it. Awesome. I'm going to let it work through this last thing. And then what we're going to do is actually build a roll forward. I'm going to say, actually, I want to clear the chat. So one thing that I did notice is that it's like context window is kind of small. I wouldn't think it would stop after this next ask, but if you try and build out like 20 tabs at the same time, you're probably going to fail. So let's clear that. And I want to say, hey, can you assign each of these P&L accounts to a balance sheet accrual account? Our options are accrued expenses, accrued wages, and accrued bonuses. I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm sure there's more that you would have on your balance sheet, but this is very much just to be a demo. So now it's adding the balance sheet account. Great. So now what I want to do is I want to build a roll forward based off of these. Again, look how fast it's doing it. It keeps blowing my mind. And so what we would do here is say, you build me out a true roll forward where we have beginning balances, reversals or payments, and new accruals followed by the ending balance. This should be on the roll forward tab. I'm even abbreviating and seeing if it'll carry it out. So cool. It's going to build out proper roll forward structure. Assume all beginning balances are 0. I can use a current sum if. So yeah, for number 3, you're right. 3 is good. 2 should be if you see an accrual from prior looks like it got paid. You can always ask if unsure. And for the layout preference, 1 roll forward per balance sheet account, 3 separate sections, a single consolidated roll forward, showing all 3 balance sheet accounts as rows. I think I just want option B. And this will be for January 2026. Okay. So let's see what happens here. And as this loads, remember, I obviously know how to put together an accrual roll forward. So if you've never done this before, you may not know like the questions to ask, but that's pretty much everything AI related. Is the better you know how to ask the questions, the better the output is going to be. So clearly it is going through and redoing everything, which is great. So the other thing that Claude does that's kind of cool is it has input tabs colored in blue and formulaic tabs colored in black. So you can quickly spot if it's an input cell. So obviously this would never be an input cell because this would actually get driven from prior month, and then this would be a new like formula or flag that you put in that you can just say accrual from prior month and have that roll forward in here. But just again, for the purposes of this, 188,000, great. If I just do a quick check, we're going to go with 188,000. That's great. That works. I mean, we can even take this one step further. Can you build a compliance flag at the bottom of the new accruals column that checks to make sure that all accruals were brought in correctly from the P&L dump tab? So there's one way that we can modify this, which is pretty cool, making sure that our formulas are always working. And then once this is done, so there's your compliance check. Great. Lastly, what I'm going to do is, can you put together a how to use guide so I can send this to my senior account. So now you become the builder of templates, and then you effectively go and you share this with the team. So it takes 15 minutes to build this stuff out the way that you want to see it. And then you provide this to the rest of your team with a how-to guide and effectively give it to them to then roll it forward every single month. Again, this would have taken most people an hour plus. And so I didn't instruct it to do it on a new tab, but it threw it in here. This is great. Like, this is exactly what I want. And just to kind of show you, here's all of the logs. I don't know why it's doing weird dates here, but that's fine. It's not a big deal. Anyways, this is crazy. I absolutely love it. I hope you guys are finding it useful. I keep playing around with it, and every time I do something new, it just amazes me. I'll have more videos on things that we can do. But in the meantime, I hope you found this valuable, and yeah, we'll talk to you next time.